Network, network, network. When you work to expand your circle of contacts, you connect yourself to the community and grow your influence. And that's like bulking up muscle mass in the Grow Nevada Team Clubhouse weight room. I'm Vince Griffith for Reno Engineering for the Grow Nevada Team, reminding you that if we're going to win, we all got to play. Remember, think and shop local first.
We are the bad shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would.
We so bad, we so good, we be blowing your mind. And, you know, and it blows my mind what's happening in our community, and there are so many people making it happen. So let us introduce our first two guests on the program today. This is the Grow Nevada Team radio show. Eric Sheets. Eric, you are currently working with you have a business of your own, but you're also working with the Young Professionals Network.
Correct, yes. We got the YPN Young Professionals Network, and then we're, as a adjunct group to that, we have the 20 under 40 group that basically figures out who's doing well in the community. Just as you said before, you know, building the team that is going to make the next great thing happen here in Nevada is critical, and knowing who's making stuff happen and awarding them for that, recognizing them for it, is keeping them here. It's keeping people proud and happy to be here and continue doing the great stuff they're doing. So I'm part of that group, and today we have another wonderful winner here, and I'm just here to support that.
And we're going to meet her in just a moment. But first, the 20 under 40, you guys have been doing this now, recognizing these young professionals who are nominated by people in the community. Mm-hmm. And I believe there were 140 nominated this year?
155, I
wow,
believe,
that's the
individual nominees.
Right, okay.
Some people were nominated a couple times, so we actually had close to 200 nominations.
And then you have a process that whittles them down to the recognized 20 under 40.
Right.
My question for you is, why only 20?
Good question, because we have a lot of outstanding people, but there's got to be a number that we work with. I mean, you look at logistics, you look at getting everything together. There's a lot of work that goes into this. On November 4th, we have our large ceremony to award the winners.
Right. That's only a couple of weeks away now.
Yeah. If you figure even just logistics and getting somebody to play a song as they walk up, do a little video about them and all that, you're going to have to roll that into a couple days if we expand it much more.
Well, my recommendation for you, take it or leave it. Uh-huh. I think it ought to be the 40 under 40.
Okay.
At least.
All right.
Okay, because, man, like I say, there's so many great people doing so many good things.
Absolutely.
So let's meet one of the honorees from the Fennemore Craig law firm, attorney Courtney Miller O'Mara. Welcome to the Grow Nevada Team radio show, Courtney.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
If you'd like to pull that microphone a little closer to you, you certainly may. It's good to have it up there where we can hear you well. Congratulations on your nomination and on your winning of this award. That's really phenomenal.
Well, thank you so much. It was really exciting to be selected this year. It was a really competitive field, and I was surprised and thrilled to be selected with this group.
You should be, because it's a great group. We have the whole group, and they are listed on our Facebook page. And also, of course, there's Eric, where can people go online to get all the details about YPN and the 20 under 40?
Correct. You just kind of said it yourself.
Okay.
But they can go online under Young Professionals Network, Reno Tahoe, and there's a separate page under there for 20 under 40. Has this year's winners as well as the past year winners. And again, like you said, they're all rock stars.
Yeah.
Making things happen. It's a great group to be a part of.
So, Courtney, tell us a little bit about your background. Where were you born?
I was born in Louisville, Kentucky, but my family moved to Reno when I was in first grade. So this is really home to me.
This is your hometown, no matter what, no matter where you were born.
That's right.
I understand that feeling. So where'd you go to high school?
I went to Bishop Manogue High School when it was at the old location next to the university, and was proud to graduate from Bishop Manogue, and that's really where I got my start in community involvement. Of course, first from an example from my parents and their activities in the community, but then really Manogue has a great culture of service, and they really planted that seed in me. So that's where I started.
How did you get involved? What kind of projects were you working on then?
Gosh, way back in high school, I was involved with the Sodality Group. It's a women's Christian service organization that we would serve people in the community and do food drives, service projects in the community. I was also active in athletics there. And I continued that kind of work when I went to the University of Notre Dame.
So you went to Notre Dame then, and
yes.
That's where you got your undergraduate studies.
I did.
And then your law degree, where did you get that?
From the University of Southern California,
Okay.
which is Eric's school as well.
Oh, he's showing the signs there. He's throwing down the game. There you go. So, okay, then what brought you back to Reno after taking flight? What brought you back to our nest?
That's a great question. I think when I first left Reno, I wasn't sure what Reno had to offer me as a young person. But after living in South Bend and Washington, D.C., London, Los Angeles, and San Diego, I really thought that I wanted to come back here for a little while.
I'm amazed because there was certainly some serious competition for a young person's attention, those cities you just listed.
Right. So I moved back here originally for a job with a United States magistrate judge. And while I was here, I started seeing my husband and decided to look for a job in Reno and take the Nevada bar exam and stay here and build my career here in Reno, Nevada.
Well, that's such awesome news for all of us to hear. So tell us about your job at Fennemore Craig.
Sure. Well, Fennemore Craig is a full-service law firm. We're a regional firm. We have offices here in Nevada, both in Reno and Las Vegas, and during the legislative session also in Carson City. We also have large offices in Arizona and Colorado. So we serve clients throughout the West, and we focus mostly on business clients. Our firm serves clients in the areas of gaming and regulatory law, business and real estate transactions, and also litigation, which is my area. I help clients who've encountered disputes solve them through the tools of litigation.
Okay.
And I also practice in the area of probate law, which is helping people process their loved ones' wills through the probate system.
All right. So how rewarding is that experience, and does it give you the opportunity to engage in our community at other levels, like you did, say, when you were participating in those programs at Minogue?
Of course. I think that, well, first on the career side, really what we do as lawyers is help clients solve problems or help them seize opportunities, which can have small problems within them. So litigation is one tool that you can use to do that, and that's certainly one that we can employ to help our clients solve their problems. Of course, my firm really encourages all of its attorneys to be involved in the community, and we feel that's a really important part. I say that everyone has time, talent, and treasure, and you need to figure out what you can give in each of those areas, or maybe you can only give at certain phases of your life in one area or another. So in the community, one of the big things that I'm involved in is that I serve on the board of Casa de Vida, which is a home for pregnant and parenting young women. It's right across the street from Renown Hospital, and it's a great resource in our community for women who are in need and really need some help through their pregnancies to get on their feet as they prepare to give birth to their children.
Wow, that's fantastic. And how did you come on a passion for that particular project?
I've always felt that it's really important to support women, and I personally believe that all women and children are a gift from God. And so Casa de Vida helps really support and embrace that. Really what's important is that women have resources, and Casa de Vida has a social worker, and they have mentoring programs for our residents. They connect the girls with resources for their education. All of the residents have to either be in school or working. And so we're really helping them make their lives better, and that helps make our community better.
Wow. Our guest is Courtney Miller O'Mara. Miller is your maiden name, I assume?
That's right.
That's right. And her family raised her here in Reno, and she went away, learned a whole lot, and brought it all back here to our community, and is doing a lot through her job at Fennemore Craig and through her efforts for community to just increase the value of life in northern Nevada. The quality of life here is terrific, and rock stars like this, Eric, these are the people that we're going to lean on as we get, well, into our aged areas, right? I mean, neither one of us are under 40 anymore.
They're actually.
Are you still?
I am still.
Well, okay.
Which is good, but I just look old.
Okay, so I just insulted you, didn't I?
No, it's fine. But that's the exact point, though. I mean, these are the leaders that are coming up. That if they're not already in positions where they're managing numerous people, they're quickly getting there. And these are the people that are probably going to be elected, probably going to be running the legislature coming up, and so on. And so if we keep the talent here, we've got so much more we can build on.
Well, I love that you're bringing these folks in, and we get a chance to meet these great players, these young players who are coming up on our Grow Nevada team. Thank you, Eric Sheets from the Young Professionals Network, and also from your own business, which is the Truckee River Flood Management Authority.
That is my daytime job. Yeah,
we appreciate all the efforts you're making, my friend, in both of those territories. And thank you so much, Courtney, for joining us today. And congratulations on your recognition as a 20 under 40 through the Young Professionals Network. And thank you for all the work you do in the community.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, this is the Grow Nevada Team Radio Show, and we will be, I think we'll just transition right now. We'll just move straight over and bring Ann Silver, our next guest on the program, here to talk about workforce development. And she's pointed out to me that I made a grievous error already.
Absolutely.
Who's surprised? Not I.
You're
but
forgiven.
I've always known Join as the job opportunities in Nevada. But nowadays, the moniker has changed. Tell us about that.
Yes, Steve. We always had that moniker, and for good reason, but we are very much focused on providing career training for eligible Nevadans, and we wanted to reaffirm that commitment to train people for in-demand occupations. So it's not just about jobs, it's really about careers that pay a living wage and enable people to get on their feet and be self-sustaining and independent and feel great about working.
Well, that's terrific. Training Nevadans for careers. That's the new slogan for Join.
Absolutely.
Okay. So as executive director, tell us a little bit about your background and how you came into this position. A very, very important, right now, the importance of what you do seems like it's growing every day.
Well, I'll start by saying I'm significantly over 40, and so the story of how I got here would take a very long time.
You didn't have to go there.
I should mention that along with Courtney, I went to Notre Dame Law School. I was not, I think I went to one football game the whole time I was there because I was so busy studying.
Don't let any of the alumni know that.
Yes. But I've got sports in my family. My brother is the commissioner of the NBA, and I'm very proud of him.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Does he live here in Reno?
No, New York City.
I would expect he's
where
in New York.
I'm from. So started my life in New York City, went to Cornell University, Notre Dame Law School, worked for Indian Legal Services when I got out of law school in Nevada.
Wow.
Which familiarized me with the state.
Yeah.
I went back to New York, worked for a long time in the private sector, finished off as general manager of Radio City Music Hall, moved out to Nevada, and I have pretty much dedicated myself to nonprofits. Ended up at Join about a year and a half ago. Great organization that's been around about 26 years, fully funded by Department of Labor and Nevada Works, and our entire mission is to respond to the economic development activity by training Nevadans for those in-demand jobs.
There could be nothing more important in our community right now because we are in a position where we're playing catch-up, aren't we?
We certainly are, and I think, there is so much opportunity for people to gain the skills and aptitudes they need to meet the demands of employers. And it's not only the technical skills, but it's those soft skills, how to shake someone's hand, how to get through an interview, how to dress appropriately, how to show up for your first day of work. Which is probably 90%
of the deal, right?
Well, it's mostly what we hear from employers, that the biggest issue is finding people who are committed to work.
Yep.
And my counter to that is I don't know any clients who want to be poor or want to be without work, and they don't want to bring up their children without proper provisions. So I know there are Nevadans out there, and we deal with about 800 of them a year, who are looking for gainful full-time employment. And we're just trying to connect the dots with the employers, both our current employers and certainly those coming into the community who want trained, committed employees.
So are you working one-on-one with some of the companies that are bringing the jobs to town to make sure that you are fulfilling their expectations?
Well, we not only get calls from employers who tell us what they are looking for,
right,
but we work with a lot of the educational institutions and certainly EDON and Northern Nevada Development Authority, community colleges, the university, because we're all in this together. This is a team approach to economic development, and if we don't have the human resources to address the employment needs, businesses may decide this is not the place after all. So we want to be on the front lines saying we've got educated Nevadans, we have skilled and trained Nevadans who are ready to work and ready to go.
So how should people who are listening to us today and are thinking that, okay, this presents an opportunity for me, how do they get involved? What are the qualifications to be part of the Join team and get your education that way?
Well, there are many different ways. We have several portals to eligibility. If you are a veteran who's out of service at this point, if you're someone who was busy raising kids, male or female, and you are divorced and need skills and want to get back in the workforce, if you are living in a low-income household by yourself or with others, if in fact you have significant barriers to employment, whatever those might be, you just need to call us. And we're going to make every effort to determine your eligibility. You need to be 18, and you need to have finished high school or finished an equivalency program.
Okay.
Now, we do have 2 current programs going on for the next year that enable 18 to 24-year-olds who have not finished high school to enroll with Join. We will help you get your high school equivalency. We will train you, and we'll get you a job, and we'll reimburse employers for between 4 and 8 weeks of the first 75% of wages, which is a great carrot to employers. Come on, hire Nevadans, hire your own, create that future generation that Young Professionals Network focuses on. These are our future leaders. People get their start, as Courtney mentioned, by working and giving back, and we think employers play a big role in helping us situate our clients in employment.
So what categories of jobs are you working at this point in time?
Well, we focus on training for those in-demand occupations that are clearly in the news quite frequently.
So you're modifying all this stuff as we go.
Absolutely. The medical industry, the technology industry, construction, manufacturing. Wow. If someone wants to be an underwater scuba diving instructor, I'm going to say, I don't know about that demand. But I do know that manufacturing, production techs, medical coding and billing, you name it. At this point, we can pretty much satisfy anybody's career passion.
Rewarding careers with good pay behind them and benefits and a chance to build a great life.
That's what we all want.
Yeah.
There's no one who doesn't want that.
Right.
And I think we stigmatize people who may not have worked for a while. If you've ever been dislocated from a job, you're eligible for us, for our services. We want to help people who want to work. And it's that commitment to work and that passion that fuels our economy and that will satisfy current employers and all those businesses that are moving in and that EDON is so successful at bringing into our community.
So kind of help us understand where Join fits in, say, between high school and college or because it seems like what you're doing is very much aligned with what, say, the community colleges do.
Sure. But, well, first of all, we use the community colleges to provide the training. Join only facilitates and coordinates and pays for the training. We don't actually conduct it.
So you don't have a campus necessarily.
No, so we're taking millions of federal dollars and we're pushing it back into our local economy through Great Basin College, Western Nevada College, Truckee Meadows Community College, UNR, and private training providers all around the 13 northern counties that we serve, and saying if you have an accredited certified program for training, we can pay for a client to go through that. We want to see them get a living wage job when they're done. We do not train for minimum wage jobs. People can't live on minimum wage.
Right. Well, tell us, just as we wrap up, because we're coming very close to the end of our segment here, what are your aspirations for the future for the organization?
I guess I want to continually see more and more clients coming in and saying, help me become economically independent, self-sufficient, and raise my children the way I've always dreamed of doing that. We have jobs for everyone. We just need people with the commitment and the willingness to be trained, and we will assist them in finding gainful work.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Ann Silver is the Executive Director of Join, Training Nevadans for Careers, a great program that, I was aware of many years ago, but the mission has changed significantly and kept pace with what's going on in our community, and that's very exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Grow Nevada Team Radio Show, Ann. We'll be right back with Remy Jordan. We're going to talk about a great new event, music and culture all coming together in venues all over our city, and it's a first-year event. It's called the Offbeat Festival, and we'll learn more about it as we move forward through the Grow Nevada Team Show on NBC Sports Radio 1060. Hillary Sheevy will join us via telephone to talk about sister cities later in the program. Stay with us.